Why hasn't AMD created a reference model for the 6600 XT? Does doing this benefit AMD in some way? It's almost as if AMD are trying to hide something from the off. Don't know if I'd sort of read that much into it and say they're trying to hide something by not creating a reference card, because let's be honest, it's not that abnormal. Usually with the lower end models, we don't get a reference card, and that is not just AMD. Also, NVIDIA tends not to do that as well. What was the lowest reference card we got? Was it the RTX 2060 from the previous generation? And then the
that's
16
right.
series were all AIBs. So, yeah, look, it's not that strange. I don't know if they have or haven't created a reference 6600 XT. We know there's sort of there appears to be an OEM spec 6600 XT, which is that BioStar card, quite shockingly, that I reviewed. So whether that is the AMD reference card, AMD certainly aren't admitting it, and they were very quick to swipe any suggestion that that was the reference card. But the jig will be up if we start seeing a lot of OEM systems using the BioStar card, because it'll be quite clear that that is the AMD OEM spec. Very disappointing if that is the case, but yeah, we'll have to give them the benefit of the doubt, I suppose, for now, and then see, if the BioStar card starts appearing in systems that BioStar had nothing to do with.
Yeah, and there's usually a reference board for almost every single GPU that's made,
yes.
right? So even if we get a 6600 XT with no reference card, or no 1660 Ti in the previous gen with no reference card, there can still be the board, which you can basically just choose that and then put whatever cooler on top that you want.
That's a good point. I should have emphasized that. So the BioStar card is 100% based on the AMD reference PCB.
Yep.
The cooler, though, is the thing we're not sure on.
Yep.
So the Power Color Hellhound, for example, that also uses the AMD reference PCB. There's a few subtle differences there. Power Color use what looks to be slightly higher quality inductors when compared to BioStar. But, the PCB was perfectly fine. When we chucked the Hellhound cooler on there, we got the exact same thermal and performance results as we did with the Power Color Hellhound. So there is definitely a reference PCB. Whether that really garbage BioStar cooler that we came across is the reference OEM spec cooler, there's certainly evidence out there to suggest that that is the case. And AMD were none too impressed when I put it to them. They certainly didn't want that story getting out. But if it is,
if it is, it'll be obvious.
Systems, it'll be very obvious. So I won't be too impressed with AMD if that is the case, because they were very much deterring me from believing that was the case. So I always hate it when these companies lie to us, because I don't believe anything they say. Like AMD, whether they meant to lie to us or not, they certainly lied to us, or they ended up lying to us about the pricing and availability of the 6800 series. They told Tim and I over the phone that in, I can't remember what the timetable was, it was 4 or 5 weeks, we expect that there will be they basically promised us there will be MSRP cards, which, looking back, is a hilarious promise to make at the time, and we sort of felt that at the time. But when it came to the 6600 XT promises prior to launch, we were sort of having none of it, because we're like, well, we're not falling for that one again, the old saying.
Yep.
So